This kid hid Monopoly money all over school. He would tape them under desks, hide them in library books, taped one underneath the drinking fountain. Well, soon enough, people started to find them, and then more people started to find them. At first it was a joke, but kids began using this Monopoly money to buy snacks off their friends. I have $200 in Monopoly money. Can I have your pudding? After a month or two, this Monopoly money basically became the school's currency. Kids were buying pencils from each other, like I said, snacks. They were settling bets, and nobody knew who started it. One day, a 5th grader tried paying a 6th grader $5 in real money for their lunch snack. He said, "If it's not Monopoly money, I don't want it." And just like that, like a lot of my other stories, the principal had to make an announcement. It was a big deal because these kids went crazy for it, but hey, gotta respect Monopoly. This kid started the dumbest rumor at school. He told one of his friends, "Hey, did you know the cafeteria has a secret menu?" His friend was like, like what?" And without even thinking, the kid says, "Grilled mac and cheese sandwiches." Now, that's not true. The cafeteria does not have a secret menu, and they definitely don't make grilled mac and cheese sandwiches. But the next day, the kid he told went to the lunch line, walked up there and said, "Hey, can I get the grilled mac?" "A what?" She was like, "No, we don't make that." But the rumor kept spreading. By Friday, like 20 kids asked for it. The lunch ladies kept saying, "We don't have that." But this kid, he kind of upped the rumors a bit by saying, "Oh no, you have to ask the right lunch lady for it." Or, "Only 8th graders know how to say it." It got so ridiculous, the principal was like, "Yo, what is going on?" This went on for a while, until one day, the cafeteria was serving mac and cheese, and they had bread and butter. So one of the lunch ladies in the kitchen was like, "You know what? Fine, let's make some grilled mac and cheese." And let me tell you, apparently, it was absolutely delicious. When someone came up there and ordered it, and they actually said yes, cheers began erupting throughout the cafeteria. They loved it, and I guess that was enough for them, because after that day, nobody ever asked again. Gotta respect the lunch ladies. This kid carried a tiny stapler everywhere he went at school, and it wasn't for stapling paper. It was for stapling bags of chips. At lunch, he would notice people putting half-filled bags of Doritos or Cheetos back into their lunchbox or backpack. That's gonna be a mess. He'd walk over there. "You saving those for later?" Before they could answer, he would say, "Let me see them." He'd take the bag, fold the top, and staple it shut. "Here you go. Now they're not gonna spill in your bag." He said it kept the chips fresh for longer. And well, he's right. Pretty soon, everybody knew him as the stapler kid. If someone had to seal anything, goldfish, pretzels, kids would literally just yell in the cafeteria, "Yo, stapler guy!" And he would show up. He never charged anybody anything. He said he just genuinely hated seeing perfectly good chips go stale or cause a mess in somebody's backpack. He did this out of the kindness of his own heart, and you gotta respect it. This dad would charge his kids anytime they left something out, like dirty clothes on the floor, shoes in the hallway, dishes in the sink, backpack on the stairs. Every single time they had to pay him their own money. You see, his kids had gotten an allowance when they were younger, and then when they were old enough, they both had weekend jobs, so they had money to pay whenever this happened. Every time they had to give him money, he would write it down in a notebook. The kids thought it was ridiculous. The dad thought he was running a business. For years, they complained about this. Complained about how much money he had taken from them. Then, on the day each of them graduated high school, the dad handed them an envelope. Inside of each of their envelopes was every single dollar he had ever charged them, along with a handwritten list showing exactly what every fine was for. And at the bottom of that list was another note. It said, interest. He had been adding extra money on top of everything they paid him. The dad smiled and said, "I never wanted your money, kids. I just wanted you to stop leaving your junk all over my house. And I figured this would be a nice, fun way to help get your adult life started." The kids cried. They said that they spent years thinking about how strict their dad was, only to realize he'd been saving every single penny for them, and adding a lot more of his own money to it as well. That's amazing. This kid's dad had a rule about cereal. You were not allowed to open a new box until the old one was completely gone. Every last crumb had to be eaten. The boxes would stay on top of the refrigerator, lined up in order from oldest to newest. If box 1 wasn't finished, box 2 would not be opened. One afternoon, this kid's dad came home with a brand new cereal that looked absolutely delicious. Oh, that looks so good. Kids got so excited until they remembered, dude, doesn't your dad have a rule about cereal? Because there was still 6 boxes of cereal still on that fridge. So his friend, who was sleeping over that night, looked at each other. Let's eat them all then. Okay. For the next hour and a half, they ate bowl after bowl of cereal. There's like Frosted Flakes, Raisin Bran, Cocoa Puffs. By the time they finally reached a brand new box, they were so full of cereal and milk, this kid's friend puked on the floor. And then that made him puke. Neither of them could take another bite. Guess we'll just try it tomorrow morning then. Yeah, I guess you're right. The dad came downstairs, looked at this mess, and knew exactly what happened. Then he just laughed to himself. That's crazy. There was a kid whose parents waited years for this kid to take a good yearbook photo. Every year he'd ruin it somehow. Weird smile, he was blinking. One year he was holding in a sneeze. But by now, he was in high school, and his parents figured, okay, this could be it. He's finally old enough. This year, he's gonna take a nice picture. So they bought him a really nice outfit specifically for picture day. And this year, they ordered a huge photo package ahead of time to give to family members to get some framed, wallet-sized pictures for grandma. I'm grandma. So the kid, looking sharp, he gets to school, he sits down, it's his turn. But then right before his picture, his friend hands him this enormous fake mustache. The kid sticks it on, and he's sitting there thinking, there's no way this photographer is gonna let me wear this, but we'll see. The photographer looks at him, adjusts the camera, and all the photographer says is, smile, perfect. The kid couldn't believe it. The photographer didn't care. They took the picture with the mustache. A few weeks later, a giant envelope shows up to this kid's house. Oh, finally, the pictures are here. I can't wait to see how good they turn out. What? Boy, was she mad. But they paid for these photos, so the picture with him and the mustache on got framed on the wall. His grandma got a tiny little one with him with the mustache, and all was well, I guess. That kid is hilarious. This teacher had a rule for passing notes. It's a very common rule. If I catch you passing notes, I will take it and read it in front of the entire class. And obviously, these middle schoolers were writing stuff in these notes that they did not want to be read in class. So a group of kids came up with a system. They still passed their real notes, but every single kid in that class also kept a separate note folded in their pocket. This was the backup note, and every single backup note was specifically written about the teacher, but it was good stuff. Stuff like, honestly, I think Mrs. Taylor is the best teacher in school. Or, do you think she knows she's everyone's favorite teacher? So whenever the teacher caught someone passing notes, Ralphie, I saw that, give me it. Okay, here. Mrs. Taylor explains math so much better than any other teacher I've ever had. Oh, wait. Well, that's a good note. And it worked every single time. She never caught on, and she read notes a lot, and they were all about her. I think she just liked the praise. And honestly, those kids are genius. No video games until all chores for the day are finished. Every night his parents would write this thing on a whiteboard that's on the fridge. It was chores for the next day. They wrote them that night so that when he came home from school, he did them. They thought this would stop him from sitting on Xbox all night. Instead, this kid began waking up at 4 a.m. every morning. His parents would wake up at 7. Wait, dishwasher's done, laundry's folded, garbage is out. Billy, your room's clean. Yeah, that's right. He goes to school, comes home, immediately gets on the Xbox. Hey, you know that... Oh, wait, you finished it already. Everything. Oh, your homework. It's finished. On the table. Underneath my folder. Nice. And his mom is trying to say stuff like, you cannot wake up at 4 in the morning and do all of your chores just so when you can come home, you can play Xbox all night. Everything's done, right? Well, I mean, yeah. And you're not going to be petty and make up more chores just so I won't play, right? I mean, no. Well, then what's the problem, Missy? Oh. And he was right, and his grades were good, and he never woke them up when he woke up early. So although his parents wanted to stop him, there was kind of nothing they could do. So he just kept doing it. What a legend! This kid carried 2 lunch boxes to school every single day. One was a normal insulated lunchbox, and it had his food in it. The other was a very old, dirty, dented metal lunchbox. He never opened it, and he never let anybody touch it. His friends always asked him, what's inside that lunchbox, bro? He would just smile and say, don't worry about it. By middle school, people just started making fun of him for it. Weirdo's got 2 lunchboxes, and that one's a nasty one. Yeah, he's probably got boogers in there. Well, he didn't let this bother him. He went through all the middle school, and on the last day of 8th grade, his friend asks him, bro, seriously, what's in there? He opened it. Inside was tons of notes. Hundreds. Every single lunch note his mom had packed for him since he was in kindergarten. Good luck on your spelling test. Love you, son. Happy birthday. Can't wait to hear about your test. He never threw them away, and that old metal lunchbox was the very first lunchbox his mom ever bought him. When it got too beat up and rusty to carry food, he just bought another one. But he still carried the metal one around with him. He said that those memories, those notes, were way too valuable to throw away or leave behind. And every day he would read them, and it gave him a little bit of a pick-me-up. That, my friends, is beautiful.